Imagine living during a wartime period where every street corner, every newspaper, and every radio program bombards you with patriotic messages and images that exalt duty and sacrifice. Wars have a profound impact on a nation's collective brain, powerfully shaping perceptions, attitudes, and behaviors. During World War I and World War II, these campaigns were extensively used to mobilize populations, create common enemies, and justify military actions. Neuroscience and social psychology help us understand how these propagandas affect the brain and the psychology of the masses. However, wars have also catalyzed significant advancements in technology and the understanding of human psychology, resonating to this day. Let's get started. But first, leave your like to inspire us to keep posting and subscribe to the channel to follow the next videos. Fear is palpable, and your body reacts instinctively. This reaction is a complex and highly organized response of the human brain, involving various brain areas working together to deal with the immediate threat. At the heart of this response is the amygdala, a small almond-shaped structure located in the limbic system. The amygdala is essential in detecting danger and activating the fight or flight response, which prepares the body to confront or escape the threat. When the amygdala detects a threatening stimulus, it sends signals to the hypothalamus, which activates the sympathetic nervous system. This results in a series of physiological changes. Heart rate increases, breathing becomes faster and shallower, pupils dilate, and muscles contract. These changes prepare the body for a quick and effective response to danger. Additionally, the release of stress hormones, such as cortisol and adrenaline, increases vigilance and available energy, allowing for an immediate and vigorous response to the threat. Another crucial component in the fear response is the hippocampus, which is involved in the formation and retrieval of memories. In conflict situations, the hippocampus works together with the amygdala to assess the threat based on past experiences. This assessment is essential for deciding the best response to the current situation. For example, if you have faced a similar situation before, the hippocampus helps recall the most effective response, increasing the chances of survival. However, in cases of extreme trauma, hippocampal activity can be altered, leading to an exaggerated or inadequate fear response. The experience of war left deep scars, not only on the body, but also on the mind. Wars have a devastating impact on the mental health of combatants and civilians, and the psychological effects can be as debilitating as physical wounds. Since World War I, the understanding of war trauma has evolved significantly, revealing how intense conflicts can cause severe mental disorders, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. World War I and World War II were catalysts for the study and understanding of the psychological impact of armed conflicts. Soldiers who survived these wars often exhibited symptoms of psychological trauma, such as anxiety, depression, nightmares, and flashbacks. These observations led to the creation of the term shell shock during World War I, and later to the recognition of PTSD. Doctors began to realize that the symptoms were not the result of moral weakness, but a normal reaction to extremely abnormal situations. Studies revealed that continuous exposure to combat and violence can lead to lasting changes in brain structure and function, affecting the ability to cope with stress and emotions. The impacts of war on mental health are not limited to soldiers alone. Civilians living in conflict zones also suffer from trauma, facing the loss of loved ones, forced displacement, and the destruction of their communities. These individuals can develop mental health issues similar to those of soldiers, including PTSD, depression, and anxiety. Rebuilding lives and communities after the war is a long and arduous process that requires not only physical support, but also psychological assistance. Humanitarian organizations and mental health programs have played a crucial role in assisting these populations, offering therapy and support to help with recovery and overcoming trauma. Despite significant challenges, human resilience is remarkable. Many individuals facing war trauma manage to find paths to overcome and recover. Historically, stories of veterans who overcame their traumas and helped others do the same are inspiring. Rehabilitation programs, cognitive behavioral therapy, and support groups have shown effectiveness in recovering from war trauma. Ongoing research in neuroscience and psychology provides new perspectives and treatments that help mitigate the effects of trauma. With proper support, it is possible to transform pain and suffering into stories of resilience and overcoming, demonstrating the incredible capacity of the human spirit to recover from the most extreme adversities. World War II brought a deeper understanding and a more systematic approach to treating PTSD. Advances in psychology and neuroscience allowed doctors and researchers to begin to understand the brain mechanisms behind trauma. It was discovered that extreme and prolonged stress can cause physical changes in the brain. These changes affect emotional regulation, memory formation, and the ability to process traumatic experiences. Hey, I see you losing attention. Take this opportunity to leave your like to inspire us to keep posting and subscribe to the channel to follow the next videos. And let's get back on track. War propaganda has a profound impact on a nation's collective brain, powerfully shaping perceptions, attitudes, and behaviors. During World War I and World War II, these campaigns were extensively used to mobilize populations, create common enemies, and justify military actions. Neuroscience and social psychology help us understand how these propagandas affect the brain and the psychology of the masses. War propaganda is designed to evoke strong emotions, such as patriotism, fear, and hatred, which can be manipulated to unite the population against a common enemy. The use of symbols, slogans, and evocative images activates the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for emotional processing. This activation can lead to an intense emotional response that strengthens group identification and increases the willingness to make sacrifices for the nation's good. Repeated and ubiquitous messages also influence the formation of memories and attitudes, as the hippocampus, responsible for memory formation and retrieval, records these repeated information as important and true. In the modern era, propaganda techniques have evolved with the advent of digital and social media, allowing for even faster and more efficient dissemination of messages. The impact of these techniques is amplified by the viral nature of social media, where information and misinformation can spread rapidly, influencing large populations in a short period. Modern neuroscience continues to study the effects of these propagandas on the collective brain, seeking to understand how we can protect society against excessive emotional and psychological manipulation. Wars, with all their devastation, have also catalyzed significant advancements in technology and the understanding of human psychology resonating to this day. The urgency and necessity of wartime efforts have led to innovations that have shaped our modern world, both in terms of technological developments and psychological insights. The experience of fear, trauma, and the collective impact of war propaganda have provided deep insights into the workings of the human brain, influencing how we approach everything from mental health treatment to technological innovation.